on-field drills after 40s that start with McTelvin Agim of Arkansas. And a 4.99 to start us off.
Yeah, that's a great number for him. And put it into context here. You look at the top.
There he goes. 4.97.
That's good. He is fun to watch. He gets out of a 4-point stance, and you just see him launch out.
Here's Auburn's Derek Brown.
I think they missed the time. They missed the time. That's not right. He was moving better than that.
Wide open and on Josiah Coatney. Peter Schrager in.
After yesterday with Tristan Wirfs, what he ran and what the other big guys ran, we'll see that with these players, but we'll also see the versatility of a lot of guys as we go in deeper into the day.
Started all 51 games he played in Auburn.
It's moving pretty good.
5:04. Big men moving. Big men moving fast, to say the least.
I'll take your word for it. I use the tunnels.
Oh, man, it's more like CRISPR, I guess. Carlos Davis of Nebraska.
Bunch of Nebraska D linemen there. That is a very good time for Carlos Davis.
That's your clubhouse leader right now. And now the other Davis, if you will, from Nebraska, Khalil. They are twins, and they're 40 times almost matching.
That's two athletes, guys got track experience.
Jordan Elliott, Mizzou. Your tackle for loss leader of Missouri, running a 5:03 right there.
He's got a chance to be a second-round pick.
And then let's check on the 40-yard dash time of Leki Fotu.
This is a big man, Rich.
Like he bowling balled himself down. 5.16.
He throws people around. I mean, he is so powerful. You might want to put it on for this one.
For Neville Gallimore. .485 at 300 some odd pounds. 11 Buckeyes here in Indianapolis. Tied for second most behind LSU with Michigan, I might add. Santiago.
He's throwing out guys from his knees.
Oh, man. 5.36. You got to get your Padres back in the mix a little bit more. You're getting there.
Machado's gonna have a bounce back year. Talk to the folks at LSU. They speak very highly of Lawrence.
5.08. Now the 10-yard split here. Obviously, it's
both guys aren't set up at 14, where Mahomes was.
Right. He's moving.
He got out.
Oh my! 1.73 and then 4.83. Laurel Murchison. The Wolfpack, NC Stater, 5.05.
Really solid number.
Okay. Now from Michigan State, Raekwon Williams.
It's all really good numbers here.
He's almost 6'4" doing that, huh? And then Robert Windsor.
He is a bull in a china shop when you watch him. That's a
4.93.
outstanding time.
Do we call a stunt with him a Windsor knot? Thank you very much. You know what? We're just getting started.
He pulled up a little bit.
Well, here's Agim with his second run right there. So obviously something's up with that leg of his. Black lock.
Oh, he got out. Yes, he did.
0.06, pardon me, seconds better.
He's got some shock in his hands, too, as athletic as he is.
Okay, so we corrected the first run, as you pointed out, 5.11, and that's about it.
It's a big man, Rich. 5.11. You'll take that.
Again, that's the same time as we had Becton. Crazy 50 pounds more. I still can't believe what I saw last night. It's Coatney.
Remember when we used to have a bunch of slug defensive tackles, and those days are over. These guys can all move.
Three times, Marlon Davidson was the SEC Defensive Player of the Week. 4 times. Great player, also a first-round pick on that Auburn defensive line.
5 minutes older than Khalil, is 3/100ths of a second slower.
Ow,
And then we can make that Khalil's mom giving birth to 2 twins that eventually became 300 pounds.
Athletes. Gallimore flew the first time. Let's see what he does here.
Even better.
He loved watching him play, and as soon as he took his official visit to Norman, he knew that definitely was the place for him. Had to talk with Joe Washington. Remember little Joe Washington, the great player?
5.26, so we're seeing a lot of improved second runs here. Rashard Lawrence, 5.08.
He thought about coming out last year. Derek Brown and some of these defensive players, I would think the quarterback would take a precedent there. Got to protect him.
4.83.
The nation's foremost expert on the injury is expected to perform the procedure. It's a 6 to 8 week recovery, more likely 8 weeks, but
And the Spartan betters his time.
This guy plays with a lot of effort.
And he runs that way too.
It's a pretty good 10. A little bit slower than you want. I'll give you the numbers here, Rich. If you look at the top 11, he's going to want to run a little bit better than that on the next go-round. He stood straight up. He's going to drive out.
You are number 99 in high school because
Good start.
good finish.
Pretty good run right there.
That's what happens when you got long limbs, right?
Speaking of long limbs, with the arm length on Greenard here.
Here's Ladarius Hamilton of North Texas.
He plays hard. A real physical player. He's a little bit stiff, and
That's a nice split.
that's a great run.
Nice 40-4-7 flat. Ian,
would also be curious about some of the teams that were interested in trading for him last year. Maybe the Eagles, as far as his market, but I know Clowney's going to have a huge one. And then you look at, Rich, the different players that could be.
You have 13.5 sacks. That's a good way to go out.
there we go.
Again, don't worry about the 501. The 173 is pretty good. It's not bad.
Can make some plays. So A.J. Epinesa looked at very highly, and also a very diverse athlete when he was in high school.
You know, I think it almost feels like the beginning of a rebuild there. So we've talked about them going up.
Nice
That's
split,
a
nice
really good time.
Coaches and talent evaluators looking at people like Alton Robinson.
That's a
The
really
great time before the on-field drills happen. 40-yard dash. And Dear Shepherd of Ole Miss here.
Really good start, really good finish.
Quarterback, LSU Heisman Trophy international champion. He's going to work out at LSU's Pro Day.
He's moving.
It's James Smith-Williams
He is moving.
with a 4.6 240, which is, as you could see, seeing doctors getting tested over and over again. Jason Strobridge of Carolina.
That's the interesting thing, too. You can ace everything we see in these field drills.
Literally, we could reach over and shake his hand, but we won't because he's too busy evaluating.
Really good numbers by Tuska from North Dakota State. What a football program they have there. 10.5 sacks. A bunch of them came against the tight ends in the Big Ten.
Nice 10-yard split. 40-yard dash for 4.93. Again, just they're left to their own devices the entire week when they're under the watchful eye of everyone here.
One of the questions, I know that's a good time. I know one of the questions some people at home wonder about is why is everybody lined up with their own individual stopwatch when you have an electronic time?
Let's be honest.
Well, I like it from a scouting standpoint because if I have a big grade on somebody, you'd be amazed how my finger can be a little bit quicker.
Jabari Zuniga of Florida with a 1.64 split and a 4.66 40 well. While we were gone in commercial break, top of the order, if you will, the first defensive lineman of this group to run.
So that's what Bradley Nye is right there.
Okay, there you go.
Good 10 split.
He improved his time. Let's see if Kendall Coleman could in his second run. Could not. He did go sub 5 there. And these are unofficial times. We'll get an official time in short order. Raekwon Davis coming down at you.
He could have worked out with the interior players as well.
This is your Daniel Jeremiah, second best pass rusher in the draft behind Chase Young, and he improves his time.
And I think when he gets to his pro day, you'll see that get below 5.
Friendlier stopwatches on camera?
Yeah, he just plays a little bit faster than the time you saw there.
Jonathan Garvin of the U.
Spider.
Stick with his first time. And we're back live now. Jonathan Greenard of Florida. 4.88 the first time, and he'll stick with that time.
Here for the start. That was a clean start.
There you go. 5 flat. Well, let's hope it is not something that he felt tweaked and he tried to fight through right there.
If you talk about Dallas, Tank Lawrence is still there, but a lot of free agents in the house. Who knows how the rest of that defensive line goes? And of course, Atlanta screaming need off the edge to complement Grady Jarrett.
I'm just going to go out.
Yeah.
If the medical on Tua is as clear as we have heard, as here's Javon Hill of the U, if it's as clear as I think, so many other quarterbacks that could affect.
That's going to change the whole landscape.
Of course, especially if it might change who goes first or second also. Chauncey Rivers. Well, let's use some of our simulcam technology, everybody. Malcolm Roach, who had a terrific 4.84 his first time. Big man. Could not improve upon it, but 4.84 is
plenty fast enough.
Time, and that 10-yard split is so crucial because, again, you could see, as you call it, Daniel, the get-off. Get to the quarterback, one would assume, within 10 yards of the line of scrimmage, unless it's Patrick Mahomes going back.
Keep going. I don't know, 40 might not be enough. Just keep going.
Okay. So that's a Syracuse orange, and now Ole Miss red. Just trying to improve the time there. We're back live now here on our simulcast.
Here's the challenge. As we watch him rip off of taking off and getting upfield, maybe you put him in a spot, put him in a gap, and let him just go.
And putting him in a gap, you mean?
Between two blockers, instead of lining him up head up or asking him to sit.
Strobridge of UNC now. Here's Tuska.
Talk about the other side of production. Tuska had 13.5 sacks and 19 tackles for loss for the Bison there at North Dakota State.
Kenny Willekes, Michigan State. Definitely a much better time.
That's good for him. I mean, to me, he was an effort player with average get-off when you studied him. I didn't see a lot of bursts, but I would say the effort is top shelf.
I appreciate that.
The production,
You can stop your evaluation there. 4.7's a pretty good time. Obviously, the 100th of a second's different, but Jabari Zuniga is the last 40 of a defensive lineman at the 2020 Scouting Combine. And nice Costanzo walk-off, 4.64.
We've had a lot of that this Combine, haven't we? The last rep, the best rep.